Your podcast will start in 1 minute. Thank you for your patience.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
Thirty seconds remaining.
Subscribe and follow at
Tejano.
Time Podcast. This podcast is all brought to you by ACL Productions and Pro Audio and Lighting. We have a complete production package. Available. Call us for your next event at 361-318-0229 or find us on the web at www.aclproductions.com. Ladies and gentlemen, here's your host, Keith
Leal.
Alrighty, welcome to Tejano Time Podcast right here on this Sunday Fun Day. And, I would like to welcome for the very, very first time on the show, Mr. Carlos P. Garcia. Welcome to the show right here on Tejano Time Podcast on this Sunday, man. Welcome aboard.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I've been waiting to do this for a while. It's nice to meet you finally. Face to face.
Face to face.
Well, sort of, right? But yeah, before we go on, congrats on the nominations.
I
I
appreciate
believe I
that.
saw Personality of the Year and Podcast of the Year. So congrats.
Yes. Thank you very much. We're definitely, trying to keep up with everything that's happening right now in the industry. So it's a big shout out to everybody out there that took the time to actually vote. I do definitely appreciate the votes. So yes, man, thank you. I appreciate it as well, Carlos.
You're welcome.
You've been on my radio show in the past. We
Mhm.
reached out so that we can get you here on the show to bring you aboard to share with you a little bit of music and what is happening actually with what's going on with Carlos P. Garcia. You've always had some great music, an amazing voice as well. And we
Thank you.
just wanted to find out what's happening, what's going on with you. But let's go and take everybody way back as to when everything started for you. At what age did you actually start, picking up the microphone, decided you actually wanted to sing? And we'll talk about, shortly after that, we'll talk about 2018, okay?
Sure.
We all know what
Well,
happened in
well,
2018, right?
okay.
So we're definitely, where you actually from right now? Where currently
Uh,
reside at?
I'm born and raised in Laredo, Texas. I'm
Born
still
and
here.
raised. Nice,
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
Laredo,
I
Texas.
I'm I always say I'm never gonna leave. I mean, of course, never say never, right? But but no, I don't think I'm ever leaving this town.
Never, never, right? No, and they always say that. I said that when I was, about 18 years old, 19 years old, and I've been in Houston now 23 years. So, it's and you're. I mean, I think you're safe right now at your age now to say, you know what, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay put right where
Yeah.
I'm at. But that's that. Laredo, Texas. That's a Carlos P. Garcia. Tejano artist. Let's take everybody back to when it all begun for you. At what age did you start singing, buddy?
Singing, I guess I've been singing my whole life. It was just,
Okay.
but it wasn't something that I thought I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do something with music,
Hmm.
but the first thing I ever did was I actually was play drums. So
Okay, so you did play an
but
instrument.
yeah, but the singing has always been a part of my life. My mom was a singer, so she every chance she would get, she would try and get me to do some type of show at school or sing in front of her friends and her family and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And but it was too nerve-wracking for me. That's not what I wanted. I didn't want that much.
Right, right.
But I wanted to be part of a band. I wanted to be like most kids, a famous rock and roll drummer. Like um but eventually um the road led me to the singing, and once I did it as an adult,
Mhm.
I pretty much was hooked on it, and I knew that's what I wanted to do.
Amazing, outstanding, definitely. So you do have that down. Like you said, brought down from your mother who used to sing as well. So as to you didn't you picked up a little bit from what she did. And did she ever encourage you as you were younger? To continue to do that. I mean, to sing, coach you in any which way.
Oh no, no, I wouldn't let myself be coached or anything because, like I said, it's not something that I wanted to do. I mean, it
Oh,
was
okay,
in my
okay,
blood. The music was
right.
in my blood because my sisters they all play an instrument and they all sing. Um, but I guess none of them had that urge to perform in front of people. At least
Hmm.
not as a a soloist or anything like that. Um, and like I said, that wasn't my intention either. I
Right.
was happy behind the drums, behind in the back, behind the stage, playing my drums and kind
Playing the
of
drums.
hiding out back there. That was my comfort zone. But once I got on that stage and I sang for the first time, I mean, it was a rush, and it was a rush like no other. I thought I had felt that adrenaline rush before when we were performing and I was playing the drums, but the singing was a different thing. And now I can't see myself doing anything else.
At all, right? Yeah, definitely. So you had some music out. You've had quite a few songs out, which we're going to get to here in just a little bit. But we want to take it all the way. Well, it's not too far off. We want to take it to 2018. Okay, in 2018, Tejano Idol. Let's talk a little bit about that. You know what I mean? That's where pretty much where you blossomed to become where you are today, to get to where you're at today. And that was also that Tejano Idol was if I recall, was hosted by Little Miss Dynamite herself, Shelly Lotus, correct?
The year that I won, yes, it was 2018, and she was the host.
Nice, nice, and you
Yeah,
definitely were, you were first place. You took it. You know what I mean. You were the winner that year, and that
yeah.
was based in Austin, Texas, if I'm not mistaken.
The finals are in Austin.
Hmm.
But that year I think I auditioned online,
Hmm.
but they usually go to all the locations. Except that
Right.
year, I'm not sure what happened, and they asked for auditions well, I couldn't make it to the audition sites. So I wasn't gonna audition anymore because I had been the year before,
Hmm.
and I ended up not winning the contest. And I was like, you know what, maybe it's not for me. And I was like, okay, I'll just keep doing my thing, and I'll keep going and stuff like that. But they urged me to try out again and this and that. But the audition dates didn't align with my schedule.
Hmm.
So I did an online audition. They called me and they said, well, you're going to be part of the show. And I said, okay, perfect. So I didn't
Outstanding.
think much of it. I did practice a little bit and I picked my songs and all that. But as the time was getting closer to the competition time, I started getting really like like now I really want this. At first
Right,
I was
right.
like, okay, I'm gonna go like at first, but then I was like, I really want to do this. I really want that like that affirmation that I'm actually talented enough to
To
be
be
part
here.
of this group.
Right.
And so once it was getting closer to the competition, I started practicing almost every day, and I was trying to learn all the lyrics correctly and stuff like that. I didn't want to make a fool of myself. Um, so yeah, when the day came, I felt like I was super ready, and I was like very confident and not cocky, right, but confident. I felt like, okay, I deserve to be here. And but then I saw the competition and stuff. I was like, wow, it's gonna be difficult.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, I was just happy with the results. They saw it my way, and it was it's kind of like a boxing match, it's the points
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Oh
And
yeah.
so everybody's nervous because, like, okay, did I get enough points here? Did I get enough points there? It's all based on points. The way you move, the way you perform, the way you sing, the way you interact with the crowd. There's different points for everything. And I guess the year before, their biggest critique was you need to move around a bit. I guess I was too stiff, but I'm when I'm on stage, I guess I'm a little serious.
Hmm.
I don't think I am, but I guess I am. I might be a little stiff. I don't know. Uh,
That's what they're
but
seeing, but I mean,
but yeah,
you're your
yeah.
own. You know yourself. When
And
you're up there.
I kept thinking, well, maybe I need to start doing like somersaults or something. I don't know.
It's a couple of backflips just to loosen up before the show, you know what I mean? So you don't feel so
Yeah,
stiff and tight.
yeah.
That
But
is
I do,
crazy.
but I do try and interact with the crowd when I'm singing. When we did fanfare, I did my best to interact with everybody and just have fun. Just the thing is that when it's a competition, I mean, you're getting judged,
Yeah.
and it kind of stiffened me up a little bit more. But when we're performing live, then that's different. We're having fun. After the first song, yeah, I'm always nervous. I'm
Mhm.
always nervous. There's not one time that I've gone on stage that I can say I wasn't nervous. Every time I get on, I have the butterflies every time.
Every
But
time, huh?
once you sing that first song, kind of like everybody kind of starts dancing, everybody starts enjoying it. Then you can breathe, and okay, now I can have fun.
Yeah, you
And
can have fun.
yeah,
Yep.
so yeah, and I try to have fun. I
That's good,
try.
and that's all that matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Your music is going to bring the people out to the dance floor. Just out there, like I said, just got to just relax. Relax time. But we want to send a couple of shout outs here. There's a couple of people on here that I'm seeing in the group actually that are watching. They're not showing up on my feed over here. Well, they're actually showing up, but they're showing up as a Facebook user. But check this out right here. Alejandro C. Lopez is watching. So big shout out to him. It's one of our main
Tejano,
sponsors,
saludos.
ACL
Mm-hmm.
Productions. Kareem Garza is watching as well.
Hi, Kareem.
Jesse Sanchez Jr. is watching as well from up north. That's right. Big shout out to him. Saludos.
Saludos.
Jose Rosario Gonzalez is also watching in. Hector Ruiz, Pablo Urbina from La Traición is watching. Mr. John
Saludos.
Paul, DJ Smoke himself is watching, and he says, "Oh
Smoke.
my God, is that Carlos P. Garcia?" He's a crazy guy, huh? And he says he wants to see you twerk on stage. Yeah. Any thoughts on that?
He's gonna live to regret that.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna live to regret that. So he's probably gonna be able to get down but not get back up. Is what he's trying to say.
Maybe
So,
he's gonna have to help me up.
you're gonna have to help him up. Cynthia Gutierrez is also watching, and Marty as well. So big shout out to all you guys, that are
Saludos
tuned
to
in.
everybody.
Bobby
Thank you.
Castaneda is also watching over here on this end from YouTube.
California. Saludos, California.
Yes, big shout out to you, Carlos. I was always watching in on this Sunday Fun Day right here on the Tejano Time podcast. So Cynthia Gutierrez is also enjoying the show. So thank you so much for watching, Cynthia. We definitely appreciate you taking the time to join us here on Tejano Time. Carlos P. Garcia is my guest today. So if you guys have any comments or any questions, please feel free to drop them in the box for him. We're going to get to some of his tunes here in just a bit, so that way you guys will take a listen to what he's got going on. But you grew up, Carlos, listening to all types of music, right?
Yeah, like I said, my mom, she used to sing, and her main types of music were mariachi and boleros. And so I would listen to those songs over and over and over and over. My sisters, I have two older sisters. One of them, she was into Tejano back then. Well, I mean, she still is, but she was a Tejano fan, and so I listened to some Tejano. I didn't get too much into it, but I did listen to it. Then my sister, after her, she was into country,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was into rock and stuff like that. And then my little sister, she was into the boy bands, like Menudo and all these other bands, like all the boy bands.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, I definitely got to listen to all types of music. And then that being down here, we go to quinceañeras and all that. You're
Mm-hmm.
gonna hear everything from wapangos to waltzes to all these other cha-cha-chas and all that.
Yeah. You're gonna get
We
the
go,
variety.
oh yeah, definitely. So we get exposed. I at least I did. I mean, you get exposed to everything down here because we're so close to the border. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess we get the best of both worlds. Um, because like I said, we listen to a lot of the Mexican music, but then
Mm-hmm.
we listen to a lot of the American music. So that's where we get to blend our music and come up with
Exactly.
hopefully new sounds and stuff like that. Get everybody um, interested and excited about the music, right?
Mm-hmm.
With all the different beats and all different influences and stuff like that. That's why we have a lot of artists recording like country songs in their albums and stuff like that, which is
Yep.
something I want to do someday. Just letting everybody know, no surprise, right? I'm gonna record a country song someday.
Someday.
Uh, and not just country. I mean, I wouldn't mind recording like a rock ballad and stuff like that. I mean, which
Awesome.
might be in the works already. So
You never know. Yeah.
hint,
So I guess
hint, hint,
just
hint, hint.
hint, hint. Be on the lookout for that. But in all seriousness, here it says it's the Mr. DJ Smoke himself says Carlos has a great voice in all seriousness. So yes,
Thank
definitely.
you, sir. Appreciate it.
Hmm. So it's like, where are you guys located? Okay, it says we're actually located. I'm in Houston, and Carlos is in Laredo, Texas. So yes, thank you guys for watching, and you guys have us tuned in throughout social media and whatnot. We're talking with Carlos B. Garcia here, a special guest here on this Sunday. We brought him on the show to talk a little bit about what's happening with him right now. He's got Podemos Ser Feliz, which is his current single that's out. It's Hermoso Cariño, which you did also in two different styles, the mariachi
Yes.
and the Tejano style as well. Tell me a little bit about why you wanted to do it that way.
Um, First, I heard the Hermoso Cariño. I heard it before.
Hmm.
Um, I just never really listened to the words entirely. I like the entirety of the song. I knew the music, I knew the style and everything, but I just never really heard the lyrics. Um, but my wife's friend, her mom, she was she was sick, and they wanted to surprise her with music, and they invited me to go sing a few songs. And I said, sure, just let me know what she wants
That's
to
fine.
hear or what you want me to sing to her. And one of them was Hermoso Cariño. So I learned the song, and I was like, wow, this is it's a beautiful song. I like the words and everything. Um, so the day came, I went to sing the songs, and as I was singing the song, the lady she started to cry. She burst into tears and this and that, and I was like, wow, those words really hit her emotionally. Like it was that powerful to her. That song was that powerful to her, and I was like, okay, so this is I mean, not
Yeah.
only is it a great song, people really like it, and they feel that emotion.
Mhm.
So I got kind of excited. I was like, okay, I want to record this song and I want to do it in Tejano. So months later, um, I had talked to somebody about recording the song and all this, and then we found out that Vicente Fernandez had passed away. And
Okay.
I said, you know what? Um, I'm going to record the song as a Tejano song, but I can't just record it like that. I have to do the a mariachi version
Mhm.
uh, in honor of Vicente Fernandez, right?
Yes, yes.
Uh, and so we go ahead. I go ahead and call this guy that I know, and I told him, hey, I want to do this song. He goes, come over to the house, and we'll go over it and see how it works out. So I went over to his house, and he started showing me the arrangements to the song, and he said, can you reach this particular note? And I said, yes. And I think I can. And he goes, okay, let's try it. And he goes, wow, that's perfect. Yeah, we definitely should record it. And so I decided to go ahead and record both songs at the same time,
Mhm.
two different studios, but um, I was going back and forth, and finally got both songs done. And so I was like, okay, they're both done. So what do I do now? So I was like, okay, we'll do a double release. Let's just release both songs at the same time, and let the listeners decide what they want to listen
Decide
to.
which one they like more, the mariachi or the
So
tejano.
and results were kind of mixed. They were kind of even. They were like the views and all that. They were pretty even. So I was
Mhm.
like, okay, so we did the right thing. We gave this side of the room what they wanted, and this side of the
And
room what
the other
they wanted.
side. Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So for me it worked out. It just, I guess, maybe lack of promotion, but uh, otherwise I think this song did pretty good, I was really happy with the production. I think I told you this, but we recorded
Yes.
that song in San Antonio with Mr. Gilbert Velasquez,
Mhm.
and uh, it was just an experience. I mean, just to work with Mr. Gilbert Velasquez is a great experience. Just
Oh yeah.
meeting him was like, wow. I was like, okay, so this is Mr. Gilbert Velasquez. I was in his studio. I was like all excited. But then when I heard the music, what he had composed and all that, I was like, wow, I was blown away. I was like, so I was all excited. I wanted to record then and there, but I knew I needed to
Mhm.
practice the song. So here I come back to Laredo, practice my song, and go back the next week to record it. Same thing here. The only good thing about the mariachi song was that it was done locally by Mr. Uh, Rene Gasca, and I can't remember Ruben's last name right now, but they're one Ruben's a mariachi instructor, so he
Okay.
he pretty much played all the instruments on the song, and Rene plays the trumpet, and they have their own studio. So
Wonderful.
so when you hear Hermoso Cariño, that is 100% recorded by them. That's not a backing track. It's not
Hmm.
borrowed from anybody. It's them. They're doing
It's all
all the
them.
instruments. Yeah.
Yeah. Outstanding. Outstanding. So that's the story behind Hermoso Cariño, the two
Okay.
versions. Yeah.
Yes.
Outstanding
So
right there. So
I
tell
might do
me,
that again sometime soon.
right? I mean, it's not a bad idea,
Yeah.
it's I don't think I can't recall the last time it was done, but I'm sure it has been done before. But
Yeah.
again, it hasn't been done recently. Other
Yeah.
than what you had. This was what, a couple of years ago, about a year ago, a year and a half ago, when that song was
A year
released.
and a half. I think
Uh,
so. Yeah.
Around that time.
Yeah.
Anything before that, prior, I don't recall. At least not in the Tejano industry. But you know what? I know it has been. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm marking it. It was done with a cumbia. Monica Saldivar. I think it was. Soy Fuerte. She did one cumbia, and then I think she did it mariachi or a slow song as well. So I think she did it two versions as well.
Oh,
But that was
okay.
last year sometime as well. But other than that, prior, I would still continue. If it worked for you the first time, why not try it again?
Yeah.
It'll do wonders. Roger is watching as well from San Antonio. Big shout out to Roger. Lupe
Saludos.
Liscano también.
Hi,
Big
Lupe.
shout out. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Cynthia Gutierrez. I think I did send a shout out to her as well, but yes, So she says, Lupe says, hello, Keith and Carlos P. Garcia. So
Hi,
appreciate
Lupe.
you watching the
Saludos.
show. Yes, definitely. We want to play the song. Let's play a song from Carlos right now, so that way you guys out there that are tuned in can take a little listen to what he's got going on for them right now. We're gonna go back. Let's take it back to let's see here, Vete Ya, before we go with anything else. We're going to throw that one out there for everybody that's got us tuned in right now. Carlos P. Garcia, okay, Tejano Time Podcast. Tell me a little bit about the song before we decide to throw it up there on the interview here. Vete Ya, which is one of your older songs, but it's still a great song.
But Vete Ya is the first song we released back in 2018. I think it was in November, December, and it's written by me. I wrote that song many, many years ago, and it was done in Pure Sol at Disco Soca. So that was right after after I won the Tejano Idol. So
Mhm.
I was excited and ready to go. I wanted to put out my first single, so I decided to do one of my own songs. And so I hope they like it.
There we go. And we're going to take a listen to it right here, guys. If you like the song, drop it in the comments box, and we'll be right back here in just a few minutes again with Carlos P. Garcia on Tejano Time Podcast.
De esperar tu amor, que dijiste algún día será tuyo, prometiste amarme con pasión, pero solo me has dejado a ti muy triste. Me dijiste soy solo para ti, y a la vuelta te encontraste otro cariño. Otra vez se ha perdido ese amor que ya tantas veces me has prometido. Vete ya, vete ya, vete ya. Ya no quiero yo nada contigo.
there you have it. But yeah, right here on Tejano Time Podcast. Good evening to everybody out there that's taking the time to give us a watch this evening. As to drop your comments in the box. I want to send a big shout out here going out to for those of you, Maricela Hernandez joining in on us this evening as well. So
Saludos.
big shout out to Maricela. Connie Estrada también. Thank you so much. Daniel Ramirez is also watching. Benny Rocha is
Daniel.
watching. Let us know, guys, where you're watching from. Let us know where you're watching from. We would love to hear that or drop it in the comments box as well. Be more than glad to know where you're watching. It says one of my favorite songs here, but yeah, someone said that they're on there. It's the let's see. Oh, here we go. Here it says, hello, Keith Leal and Carlos B. Garcia. How about them Cowboys? Yes, definitely. Definitely. How about them Cowboys? There we go, right there. Yes. Definitely had a great win today. So big shout out to all the Cowboy fans out there as well. Got us tuned in. To all the Houston Texans fans. Got another win, huh? So big shout out to you guys. So we don't want those guys to start whining and crying in a little bit because we didn't give them any credit. So it's the Irma Jones también is watching. It's a big shout out to her. Thank you so much. Josie Zamora as well. That's right. So she's the one that mentioned that. How about the Cowboys? All right. So getting back to the show here at the Hello Time Podcast. We're talking with Carlos P. Garcia once again. If you guys are just joining us here, so Carlos, describe the music that you have out. And I mean, that's like, I mean, what you know, basically you do just a little bit of a little bit of everything, not just but your music in general. Describe it just a little bit about what it brings to the plate, what it brings to the table.
We're trying to keep it as simple as possible, as just Tejano, just straight out Tejano. But I guess here and then you're going to have other influences. Like I was listening to a song the other day, and I could definitely hear an influence of maybe like a Zedeco style, like accordion playing, stuff like that.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, that could work in a Tejano song, when they're doing the lead. So I mean, you see, it's hard to say we're gonna stay strictly Tejano because sometimes you feel like other things might fit in there, and you want to try new things. You want to keep it exciting. You want to keep it fresh. Not stray away completely from the style, but maybe hopefully add something new, hopefully, or something that maybe catches people off guard, but still at the same time, it still feels like Tejano, and hopefully they'll like it. So it's something interesting. You don't do the same thing every time.
True.
Especially when you're doing live. The recordings are one thing, but when you're doing live, you want to spice it up every once in a while, do something different. You're not gonna go and do the song exactly like the album because people are gonna say, "Well, I could have stayed home to do that,"
Yeah, that's what's different about our music, our people, our genre of music is that, like you said, you listen to the other types of music, and you listen to, like you had the accordion piece on one, you take it and you look at it like, wow, well, this will sound good here. We're not afraid. There's a lot of people out there that are not afraid they're up for the challenge. Put it that way, to go out and try to do something different. You never know what the outcome is going to be. It might be a hit or just anything. It's something different. The music's changing, somewhat. There's still a lot of old goats that want to still, play in the back in the same style that they had. But I mean, change is always good. Definitely hope that it continues on the right path with that. But like I said, we're not afraid. Hispanic people are not afraid to take that challenge because they're going to do just about anything. Like you said, country. They'll do a country. They'll do a pop. They'll do a hip hop. They'll get up there and rap. They'll do whatever they got to do. But it's all in there, and they all have that talent. So it's not just there. But not that you're going to go and do an album that's going to be rap. Okay, Carlos?
No.
No, I'm just kidding.
We're not trying to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
but I mean, we're trying to make it a little different every once in a while, because I mean, it's been years since the first styles came out, and then you could see the evolution, and you see the evolution now, and it's changed quite a bit, but it still has that basic building block of the Tejano.
Yeah,
it's still there. So I mean, it's a good thing, and that's why I love our music.
Do you write any of your music, or do you plan on, or do you do any songwriting? Period. Is that something you want to take on?
The first song was mine. The latest release was mine. and there's a new song coming up, which is not mine, but it's an original song, and that was written by Eduardo Yayangano from Monterrey, who is an amazing songwriter by the way. But after that, then I plan to record another one of my songs. I have a few that I've been kind of saving. I was saving them many years ago for other artists
Hmm.
because, quite honestly, I never thought I was gonna be in this position.
Oh,
Um,
okay, okay.
like I said, I wanted to play drums. That's all I wanted to do. I
Mhm.
didn't want to do anything else. But when I started singing, that's when I started to get that uh, bug, I guess, to write. And it wasn't even I want to write. It was, oh wow, it just started flowing. That day I was sitting in my wife's car. I was waiting for her to come out of a friend's house, and I was sitting in there with my son, and I was listening to something on the radio about a novela, and it just hit me. Inspiration struck, and I had to write the song. I wrote the song while I was sitting in the car waiting.
Wow.
Same thing with the other songs. Uh, and it's funny because I know most writers can relate to this, but the other songs, they usually happen when you're sleeping or when you're taking a shower, and
Right.
and it's
You,
crazy because
yeah,
you have to stop what you're doing, because if you know that if you don't save it at that moment, you're gonna lose it.
you're gonna lose it. Yes, that's what I was gonna say. What is your thought process when you actually are writing a song? Is there a certain part of the day where you decide to sit down and say, you know what, I'm gonna and take everything and see what I can come up with? I'm just gonna, is there a certain, is it outside? Is it indoors? Is it in the outhouse? Everybody has their little area where, or a thing or two where they do. Or some people are just driving on the road. They got to pull over, like you said, and write it down, because if they don't write it down, they're going to definitely lose it. And it's and I've heard that many times from a lot of artists. There are people that
Mhm.
write songs. They have to stop at the moment. They have it in their mind. They got to pull over, get a pen, paper, and bam, write it down, because you just never know. Yeah.
I wish I was like other writers that actually make time to sit down
Hmm.
and say, okay, today I'm gonna write about Keith's blue background,
Hmm.
and I can't do that. I
Yeah.
can't. I simply cannot.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, I'll be driving, or I'll be at work, or I'll be anywhere, and all of a sudden it just takes maybe like a phrase, a word, or maybe just the way somebody says a certain word,
Hmm.
and I can maybe pick up on the emotion, and it's weird. It's weird how it triggers my mind into, okay, this is a song, and I start
Right.
thinking about words, and they just start flowing, and that's, for me, that's natural. And if I stop and I don't do it, and I write it down and say I'll go back to it later, I can't.
You
It,
can't.
it won't happen. It won't happen. It has to be then and there. If not, it's done. It's done and it's gone. I can't bring it back. And I have a notebook with about, I think, 20, maybe 25 songs that are
Hmm.
written, but I lost my recorder where I had recorded the melodies, like
Oh
me
wow.
singing.
Damn.
So now for me, those words are useless because I can't remember how the songs went.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so there's like about 25 songs that will never see the light of day because I lost that recorder.
Wow, wow, wow. Well, that's really gotta suck for you. You know what I mean?
It,
To lose it. I
it,
mean, it's. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of tough.
it hurts. It hurts because some of the songs I really liked, like Vete Ya,
Hmm.
but Vete Ya and the other songs that I do have now, they are recorded somehow somewhere, so I can go back to that and say, okay, so I remember how this goes. But the other ones is like, nah. So they're just sitting there. I'm hoping one day I'll look at them and
You
say,
look at it.
oh, okay, this is how it goes. Like, but so far, no,
Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Right.
nothing yet. No,
Well, hopefully we just just have the faith. You never know. It might just come right back at you. I want to send a big shout out to Daniel Ramirez. Échale ganas, Señor Carlos P. Garcia. That's right. So
Daniel,
I guess
what's up,
talking
Daniel?
about. Yep. Big shout out to him for watching as well. Tony Mendoza is watching. Big shout out to Tony Mendoza. Marie Bueno is watching as well. So big shout out to you guys.
Okay,
Everybody that's got us tuned in here, definitely watching. We're gonna play some more. Play another tune here in just a bit here from Carlos P. Garcia. We talked about it earlier on in the broadcast. Hermoso Cariño, where he did two versions. We're going to play the Tejano version here in just a bit for everybody out there that is not familiar with Carlos' music, but I'm sure you've heard a tune or two of what he's got out. Or even when you probably hear this song right here, you're not going to realize that this was him. This is the guy that's singing the song. All right. So just, hang tight here. We're going to play it here in just a little bit. But in the meantime, Carlos, what has been the hardest and most challenging thing that you've had to overcome in the music industry today in Tejano?
It's just getting doors to open. It's very
Yeah.
difficult. Um, it seems that a lot of times, if you don't know people, you're kind of not you're overlooked,
Hmm.
and so it is very difficult. Not if you don't have the right connections. And for me, ever since I started, I never really had that push, you know. So as an independent artist, you kind of have to learn as you go along.
Hmm.
I didn't have prior experience in promoting. I didn't have prior experience as to okay merchandising or even going into looking for a record label or anything like that. Um, because fortunately for me, the bands that I was in before
Hmm.
were offered contracts. We never went out looking, so I didn't know how that worked. So I thought, okay, maybe when I start singing and I record my first song, hopefully
Hmm.
I can get the attention of people, so I
Right.
can go out and maybe find a label and stuff like that. But you find out pretty soon that it's not that easy, right?
Hmm.
Um, but I have had a lot of help along the way. Um, like we were talking about your dad. Ever since I started, he was a big supporter, and so I mean, I love your
Yeah.
dad. He's awesome. He opened his doors to me. He messaged me often. He called me, "How you doing? Do you have new music? Do you want to come promote it? Stuff like that." He would reach out to me also. So
Hmm.
um, I mean, it's people like your dad that made me want to keep going.
Right. Right.
Because for a while there was it's like I said, as an independent for a while there, you're like, this is kind of difficult. It might not be something that I can do, but then you you meet awesome people like your dad and
Hmm.
also you, of course. Um,
Hmm.
but at the beginning, that was that push that I needed for me to want to continue because okay, well, there are people that do want to help you along the way.
Right.
Um, so that in itself was like okay, that was a motivate.
It got you
So
going.
yeah, I was like okay, so people do like the music. They are listening. They are following. So and then just little by little, just I guess they call it organic growing, right? On
Yeah.
online like, followers and stuff like that. And I was like, okay. So now I know a little bit more about I mean, having to pay for promotion online, having to get somebody to promote you. I have never had an actual like I had never had an actual manager before, but
Hmm.
now Lila Lisa Promotions, like she's the one that was pushing all my music. They were pretty much trying to get me booked for interviews and all these other
Hmm.
things. So now I'm getting that extra help now.
Right.
It's
Yeah. Amazing.
it's not it's no longer me against the world.
Yeah, I
um,
mean, it could be a lot. It could be a lot to juggle. You get under pressure. You're not sure if you feel like you're doing the right thing or not.
yeah.
And sometimes it's always good to leave it in someone else's hands, but always double check to make sure it's what you want and it's going the right way in the right
Oh
direction.
yeah.
With the right person. In the right hands.
Hmm.
But yeah, it does take a lot of toll on what you have to do. You know what I mean? As an artist, your full time job, your life, your like I said, you outside of your job, you have your life, in your music career, and then you have to go out and promote it. You have to go out and do merchandise. You have to go out and do all this. So it's a lot. It's a lot for one person to handle and juggle. I get it. Yep. For sure, for sure. Let's send out some big shout outs here. Let's see who we got here. Este Virginia Berlanga, she's watching. Virginia Berlanga, and we also got Ronnie Lucero, who's got us tuned in
Saludos.
watching. También Ronnie. Let's see
Virginia.
here. Elizabeth Aguilar is watching as well. Thank you so much for tuning
Hello.
in. Harvey Valdez. Big shout out to Harvey. Got a new
Saludos.
song. I got a new tune out as well. So big shout out. Daniel Ramirez, of course. is watching. So you guys that are watching right now here on the broadcast, let us know where you're watching from, guys. As not too many people definitely well, didn't want to say where they were from actually, so I get it. You know what I mean? So anyway, anyhow, if you have any questions for Carlos before we get off this broadcast here, feel free to drop them in the comments box. They definitely would love to answer your questions. As for you guys that are out there. Toledo, Ohio. There we go. So we got somebody watching from Toledo, Ohio. So big shout out there. I
Lupe.
believe it's coming through here. Let's see who mentioned that there. That's Lupe. Lupe is watching from Toledo. So
Lupe
thank you,
Tejano.
Lupe. That's right.
Mhm.
Nick Guerra, big shout out to Nick Guerra también who's watching in. Uh,
Shout out.
yes. So Carlos, let's play a song. Let's play another song here
Sure.
before we
Sure.
sign off. Not the latest one. We'll get to that one just a bit, but we want to play Hermoso Cariño. And for everybody that's watching out there here on Tejano Time podcast, we'll be back here in just a few with another song. We'll be back with some Carlos B. Garcia, but here's another tune from this guy, all right? Hermoso Cariño. And remember, we had mentioned it earlier on in the broadcast. He did two versions of this song. One was mariachi style. And of course, the version you're going to hear right now is the Tejano style song. Okay, so if you like it, go out and get it. It's available on all digital platforms también. Add it to your playlist. Why not? If it's good music, if you like it, add it to your list. Okay, check it out right here. It is Tejano Time Podcast. I'm your host, Keith Leal, and my special guest tonight, Carlos B. Garcia.
Hermoso cariño, hermoso cariño, que Dios ha mandado a ser destinado no más para mí. Precioso regalo, precioso regalo, del cielo ha llegado que me ha colmado de dicha y amor. Hermoso cariño, hermoso cariño, y estoy como un niño con nuevo juguete, contento y feliz. No puedo evitarlo y quiero gritarlo. Hermoso cariño que Dios ha mandado no más para mí. Hermoso cariño, hermoso cariño, y estoy como un niño con nuevo juguete, contento y feliz. No puedo evitarlo y quiero gritarlo. Hermoso cariño que Dios ha mandado no más para mí.
There you have it right here. It is the Tejano Time Podcast. Welcome back to the show, everybody out there that's watching on this Sunday Fun Day. That was Carlos P. Garcia and one of his, not his latest, I would say, but it was a single that was released before his new cut that he has out right now, which is Podemos Ser Feliz, which we'll get to that in just a bit right there. So, yes, man, another great song right there. Carlos, for everybody out there that's tuned in. Great voice, amigo. Someone said that there on the Facebook group there. So big shout out to them. That was Josie Zamora. That's right. So Josie Zamora. Alfredo Rios is also watching as well. So big shout out to those guys. Yeah. So again, Carlos,
Saludos.
yes, we want to get some more details on what is in store for you. What is next for Este Carlos P. Garcia? I know you have got the new single, or the latest single that you have out, which we'll play here in just a bit. That was released not too long ago, but you're in the process of working on new music right now as we speak currently, right?
We are we already gathered, I think, 5 new songs, um, which we are going to probably take our time with. I don't want
Hmm.
to rush anything, because there's one song especially that I want to make sure that it's perfect.
Hmm.
Este, I it's in my head, and I want it to be exactly like that when it comes out. So I've been talking to some people, and we're gonna start getting together and work on it step by step. I don't want to go in there and tell them, okay, let's start at the Tejano beat, and then jump into it. No, I
Right,
want
right.
them to feel the song. I want them to actually learn the song the way that it's in my head,
Yeah.
because I have this vision, and if it's not what is in my head when it comes out, it kind of brings me down a little bit. But yeah, I'm excited about the song. That's how invested in this song I am. I want it to be like a million times perfect. I know it's not possible. It's never possible to be perfect, but I want it to be near perfect.
Hmm.
And we've already talked to some people about recording um, the drums, somebody about recording the bass, and trying to get all the right people to do the song. And
All right.
so I'm hoping that I can give 100%, and then they can get an awesome product once they listen to the song. I want them to feel the emotion, the power, everything.
Everything about it. That's awesome. Well, we're definitely going to be waiting for that for sure. So talk to me. Tell me a little bit about our industry today, Carlos. I know it's like you said earlier, as the, some doors are not always left wide open for a lot of young and artists or artists that are just beginning and whatnot. What are your thoughts on where the industry is today, and what can we do to improve? And what areas?
I think as far as improving, um, guys like you and your dad and all these other radio stations or other online stations, I think y'all are doing an awesome job trying to push the new music. Because when we're driving out of town, anywhere that we go, we listen to the radio station. And I mean, it's almost like I'm listening to the same station every time because
Hmm.
I'm listening to the same songs.
Over and over.
Um, and not just that, but I'm listening to the same songs that I was listening to 15, 20 years ago.
Exactly.
So, um, and it's like I tell everybody, it's not that I don't like the songs. I love the songs. I do. But where's the new stuff?
Hmm.
There's not even hundreds, there's thousands of songs released every year, and we get to hear maybe, I don't know what, 5%, maybe, if anything, on air,
Right.
unless it's the top names. But it's something that we've mentioned before, and I've said it since the beginning. Um, all our top artists, they will get older, they will retire. So where does that leave our industry?
Yeah.
Um, Unless there's a new generation coming up, um, where's that gonna is it gonna end? Is it going to just disappear? Are we gonna end up going back to just the same music all the time?
Right.
Um, it feels like it's gonna fizzle away if we don't bring the
If
new
we don't
people up.
we don't grab it while we can, yeah, while it's
Yeah,
still there.
because there's I've listened to a lot of the music that y'all play and that I hear in the other online stations, and I was like, why isn't this a hit? Why is this like being played 100 times a day like the other songs? You
Right.
know, the quality sometimes I've heard this before. Um, if the quality is not there, it's not gonna get played. If if it's not recorded in a certain type of studio by certain if the arrangers, composers, or whatever, they're not top quality, it's not gonna get played. So that was the idea behind Hermoso Cariño being recorded
Mhm.
with at Gilbert Velasquez studio.
Mhm.
And I kept thinking, okay, so I'm gonna do it how they said that it should be done. I'm gonna go to one of the best studios, do everything by the rules, and it has gone played, but I don't feel like they really
Like
give
that.
it a a shot because it's me.
Hmm.
It would have been maybe any other one of the top tier artists, then it would have gotten played a
Yeah,
million times a
a
day.
million times or so.
Uh,
Yeah.
but it's if it's not a name that they know a lot of the times, and unfortunately I've seen it before because I used to work at a radio station.
Hmm.
They'll get a CD and they say, "Who's this guy?" And
Right.
I don't know, put put it to the side
Yeah.
and they throw it away, whatever. And unfortunately, that does happen, and I've seen it happen before.
Yeah.
And I do understand uh, if you get a recording and it sounds like they're recorded in the car,
Right. Yeah,
and
it's got to be quality
going,
music. That's one thing I will
yeah,
say for our
yeah,
station here. If you're going to send music, send it. It's got to be quality music. If it's not
yeah.
quality music, it definitely is going to go in the trash bin. There's no doubt about that. So it
Oh yeah,
has to be
definitely.
quality music, and that's understandable. Because some
Yeah,
people
yeah,
do send some stuff that does sound like they're recorded in the front seat. There's no doubt.
yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
we've
why
heard it
I
all.
understand. Yeah, and I understand that completely.
Hmm.
Because like I said, I do listen to some of the recordings and I say, "Oh, okay, well this does sound kind of like it was
Yeah,
recorded in the garage and
or a trash
no."
can, or something.
But when somebody goes out there and spends thousands of dollars to record a song and they everything's done, mastered and recorded and everything in the studio and done perfectly, and it's not given the time of day, then that's sad. That's
Right.
sad
Yeah.
because we have all these artists um, putting in their time, their effort, their money. They're investing in all these things,
Yeah.
and they send out their music. And like I said, it's not just me. I know it's a lot of other artists,
Hmm.
and they don't give it the time of day. They don't give it a second look,
Right.
and it's not like before. Like before, when they had the artists had the labels behind them,
Hmm.
they
Yeah.
could come on these radio tours and they could do all these things. And right now, if it's not in person, it's very difficult to get the attention of almost anybody.
Right.
So it is difficult. It's difficult, and I understand where some of the radio stations are coming from because they are making their money from advertising and all this. But like I said, eventually, some people are gonna get tired of listening to
Oh
just
yeah.
the same
Yeah.
songs over and over.
Yeah. And
And
and that's just to say on radio. Again,
yeah,
going back to industry, we're talking in
yeah,
general, the entire thing. Nightclubs. You know, you go out to a club, you still hear the same song they played back then. You walk in there, you walked in like, whoa, you just went back 25 years. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And you hear the
yeah,
same damn thing over and over and over, and it gets old
yeah.
fast.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
there is still a lot of danceable music that's out there. The
Hmm.
opportunity is just not given to a lot of the artists. There's many artists
Oh
out there that
yeah,
have great music that's danceable to go out there. If they didn't, then they wouldn't be performing, here and there. I mean, they wouldn't, period, anybody on the dance floor, basically.
yeah.
They just don't. I don't think they have. They don't give it the time to actually take a listen to it. And again, some of those jocks that are out there and some of these clubs, throughout the state of Texas,
Hmm.
just they either can't mix it or or they're just up to they're used to the same thing over and over because that's what they've been doing for 20 something years. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And they don't want to take the time to go out and grab another song or a couple of here. And it's so simple. DJ Smoke does it all the time. He plays a lot of great stuff. So I give a big
yeah.
big shout out to my boy there. I've seen
Of
him
course.
perform. I've seen him do his shows. Show in the past. So he can do it all. So big shout out to him, who's always giving it 110% towards our industry as well, también. So again,
Yeah,
like I said, it goes down all the way around, not just the music.
yeah.
It's just it goes all the way basically down to the entire part of the industry, from promoting. Like you said, radio tours is a big part that needs to continue to go forward and happen. It's some people budge, some people don't. But like you said, if
Hmm.
you're just going to pay somebody to sit there and just send your music out, and you don't know what to expect. Is your music even getting there at that? There's so many issues that this industry has with that right now. It's ridiculous. But
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do any finger pointing or any names and all that stuff because there'd be too many. I only got 10 fingers. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I'm not gonna
yeah.
point any damn finger at anybody.
No,
So, but it
it,
happens. It definitely does happen.
no. I'm just hoping that and not just like I said, it's not just for me because I see it with a lot of the younger artists. I feel like um if they would only give them a chance.
Right.
There, some of these kids are budding artists, and they're um they're ready to spread their wings. And if they don't give them that time of day right now, and they kind of just okay, they get tired, they get disillusioned, and they stop recording. So then we're not letting them uh, develop. So the
Yeah.
music is never gonna get to a point to where you can play it on radio.
Right.
And they just need to let the music play and give the
Hmm.
audience that chance to say, well, it's good, it's not good, we request it or we don't request it. And
And they
uh,
definitely will let you know. They definitely will let you
yeah.
know. Trust me, if they like it or not.
and,
Yeah, they
and
will.
and a
Leave
lot
it
of
up to
times,
them.
yeah, and a lot of times that's all you want. You just want
Hmm.
it, the light of day, and for somebody to say, okay, well, we liked it or we didn't like it.
Hmm.
um there's this show that they do, and they put it out at a certain time, and um they let the audience decide, okay, so do we keep it on rotation or do we not keep it on?
Yeah. I
And
remember that's what we used to have back in the days on in radio, and again in the '90s, it was a battle of the bands type of thing,
yeah,
where new music would come in, and that song at the end of the week fought everybody and beat everybody, and it stayed in rotation, and the others got just knocked out one by one. Some stayed,
mhm,
some beat the up. It was just something interesting for radio and the listeners at that particular time. Um, it's something that is still worth doing today. Whether it's on show on a
yeah.
live show or on the radio, to keep it fresh, all the time.
Yeah, because at least they give you a fighting chance. At least you
Exactly.
have that opportunity to be heard,
Be heard.
and
Yeah.
not just like, oh, it's a new song,
Yeah, yeah.
just
Give it an
toss it away.
opportunity to fight, for some space,
Exactly. I mean, at least you give it the chance, the fighting
Yeah.
chance, and I think that's what most everybody wants, just to be given a chance, just to be
Mhm.
heard at least once, at least put it on the radio, see if people like it, announce it. This is a brand new song. If you like it, we'll keep it. If not, call
Yeah.
us or whatever, like other places. And you see, and that for me, that's enough. At least they're trying.
Mhm.
But if they're only promoting a lot of times from the artist from a certain company or anything like that, that also is bringing the industry down because they're only listening to artists from certain companies.
Right.
Um, so I mean, it's different. It's difficult, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to give up.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that I'm not going to try and push others to to uh to keep going at it because like I said, we don't want this to end. I
Right.
don't want it to
Yeah.
end. And it probably won't because there's too many of us recording new music every day.
Every day. Oh,
So,
yeah.
and that's what I tell everybody. As long as you keep recording, as long as you keep going out to play the bars and this and that and all these other places, the music is still going to be there. And no matter what happens, even if it's not mainstream, um, the music is still there.
Still
The
there.
people still listen to it, and thanks to you guys, we get heard. We get
Mhm.
heard, and it's a major push. And I mean, you were mentioning also DJ Smoke.
Yeah.
He's always a big supporter
Big
of the new
supporter.
music. Also, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's
Yep.
one of the other guys that we connected, and he's always been a great supporter. He's always been there to push and to ask if you need help and stuff like that.
Right, right.
So and that's where you see where there's people that really want to push the industry forward.
Right.
And
Yeah. Mhm.
like you guys are doing your thing. You're trying to introduce any new music and the newer artists. And I feel like if that continues, then we can move forward. We can grow. And
Okay. Yeah.
that's the main thing, growing, not
Yeah.
just staying
Right.
stagnant. Like I said, the same group of people, artists, and groups, but generate this whole uh, like a machine of lots of musicians,
Mhm.
lots of stars. Because right now I feel like we only have a handful of stars,
Yeah.
and
True. Very true.
everybody else is kind of it's kind of being held
It.
at bay. Um,
Yeah.
and it's like I tell everybody, I don't understand. There's too many towns for one artist to play all the towns at one time. So let's get everybody out there. Let's get everybody working. That's what we want. We want to explode to the level of what maybe other genres are doing, like Grupo Frontera and all these, like the norteño type music.
Right,
I mean,
right.
they're exploding,
Hmm.
but they're being pushed. They're being pushed and to a different level, and that's what we want to do for Tejano. We want to do that for the Tejano. We want to be able to push it forward and make it stronger.
No,
So
yeah.
hopefully,
Definitely, definitely. Sandra Rivas says, "Have a great night." She's tuning in his night
you
this
too,
evening.
man.
So
Thank you. Good
thank you
night.
so much for watching. I appreciate everybody that watched this. There, we want to get to that last song here before we wrap things
Sure.
up here from Carlos B. Garcia, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're watching out there, stick with us. We're going to play his last tune here that we have here available. Um, we want to play the song. The name of the song, "Podemos Ser Feliz," is the name of the song, right? Yes, for sure, for sure. So let me see if I got that deal. Is the Yeah, definitely gonna play it right now. So we got it right here. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there tuned in right now, let us know what you think about the song. We're going to be right back here in just a few more minutes to close things out here with Carlos B. Garcia. We appreciate you for taking the time to watch the Hello Time podcast. I'm your host, Keith Leal. My special guest today, Carlos B. Garcia. Okay, Podemos Ser Feliz is the name of this song, and this is his latest tune that's out right now, and it's available on all digital platforms. Go out and hit it.
Amor, besos, abrazos, caricias, eso te ofrezco yo a ti. Si es lo que quieres, cariño, ven, entrégate a mí. Podemos ser felices para siempre, podrás sonreír junto a mí. Podemos compartir toda la vida juntos hasta el fin, tú y yo. Podemos ser felices para siempre, podrás sonreír junto a mí. Podemos compartir toda la vida juntos hasta el fin, tú y yo. Todo eso que yo te ofrezco es solo para ti. Amor para ti es sincero. Ven, entrégate a mí. Podemos ser felices para siempre. Podrás sonreír junto a mí. Podemos compartir toda la vida juntos hasta el fin, tú y yo. Podemos ser felices para siempre, podrás sonreír junto a mí. Podemos compartir toda la vida juntos hasta el fin, tú y yo. Podemos ser felices para siempre, podrás sonreír junto a mí. Podemos compartir toda la vida.
Podemos Ser Feliz. That is the latest from Carlos B. Garcia right here on the Hello Time podcast. That's going to, bring everything to a close here. But we got just a couple more things we want to get with with Mr. Carlos today. Where can they find you on social media if any of these fans out there want to follow you and, follow your path with the, everything that's up and coming for you from new music and whatnot, maybe some performances that you have around the area later on in the future. Where can they look to go to find you? Ahorita. Let me make sure. Okay, there we go. There we go. Go ahead.
Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok, and it's all Carlos P. Garcia, Tejano singer. Um, the closest thing that we have right now is because we're working on the music. I didn't want to do too much, but we're gonna be in Zapata, hopefully in at the end of October,
Okay,
maybe a little bit before Halloween. So
awesome.
we're working on that one. I think it's almost done, and I'm excited about that because I've never done a date so close to Halloween.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
it'll probably be the first time that we dress up on stage. So that's gonna be
Yeah,
fun.
that would be awesome.
Uh,
Yeah, for sure.
but either way, I'm gonna dress up this year. I didn't dress up last year or the year before, all that COVID stuff and all that. Um, so I'm definitely excited about getting a costume together or something. I don't know what yet, but I'll definitely be dressing up just to have some fun this year.
Yes, that's awesome. They can, and you're gonna again. That's she's like you said, Zapata, Texas. So
Mhm.
be on the lookout for that. Follow him on his social media pages. Definitely. Irene Mendoza says hello, Carlos P. Garcia. So
Hi, Irene, saludos.
shout out to
Um,
Irene.
TikTok for sure. I'm trying to grow my followers because I want to start doing the live,
Okay.
but I'm still shy of the 1,000 the followers, but I'm trying to get there so I can start doing something every day. I'm not done yet, but I'm fixing this area up so I can do the live and all that.
Hmm.
I'm fixing up part of this room to be kind of like a studio,
Awesome. Good
so
deal.
so I can do the live stuff hopefully daily,
Yeah,
but it
that'd be great.
depends on the time.
Yeah. Well, you guys, like you said, you can follow him on TikTok right now. He's trying to grow his TikTok as well, so as to be on the lookout for that in the near future, so we can start kicking off some of his live stuff there. It's in the works, so you'll be on the lookout for that. New tracks as well. He's laying down in the studio as well, so I'll be on the lookout for that. That's going to be out very very soon as well. When can we expect it though? Do you have a time frame as when you want to finish things up and get it out, or you
I'm
just
gonna,
want to take it? You want to take it slow?
I want to take it slow, but I'm hoping by the end of next year.
In the
Um, but we'll probably put something out before,
Okay.
maybe like 2 or 3 tracks before,
Hmm.
and just keep working on the album so we can finish. Hopefully, maybe I'll try and do it before December. That way we can get it as a stocking stuffer.
Heck yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, there you go. So be on the lookout for that, guys. As the late next year, not this year, but next year. But like I said, be on the lookout for some new music. A couple of songs, a couple of tracks will be out throughout the year. He'll kick things off at the new year in the studio, of course, working on the album. Be on the lookout for his social media pages. Okay, guys, as he did mention those handles earlier. Or Carlos P. Garcia, Tejano singer. You can follow him on Facebook, of course, as well. Instagram, TikTok. You on any other one?
um, I
Probably
was
those are
on
the three major ones right
I
there.
was on X,
Yeah,
but I've never really felt comfortable at using Twitter. I don't know why. I guess because I'm old. I don't know.
yeah.
But
No,
I don't know.
it's not all that in a bag of chips. Trust me, it's
No,
not. X and even Threads is a little weak right now. I know so many people took the time to get on that platform, but it needs a lot of work and it's still far off from where everything else is today.
you
It's
see,
gonna take a
that's how far off I am. I don't even know what Threads is. I thought you
yeah.
were talking about clothes.
It's almost like an X from. I mean, if you want to compare it, X and Instagram's, X. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Twitter before it was, well, I guess it's X now. It's not called Twitter anymore. All this
Hmm.
hoopla that's going on with that crap. But
Yeah.
it's another platform that's just identical, to Twitter, but it's called Threads and it's from Instagram. They're
I
I
just
don't
feel
know.
like TikTok has kind of taken off.
Yeah.
Um, I get more feedback from the TikTok for some reason, and I've been posting the reels and all that stuff.
Hmm.
And it was funny because I started posting on TikTok, and I was looking at TuneCore so I could see like the sales and the streams and all that,
Right.
and
Right.
it went from, let's say, 1800 to 2000 to like 18,000 in a
Mhm.
month, and I was like, wow, for me, I was blown away. I was like, wow, that's 18,000
Yeah.
streams. I was like, that's a big deal for me because
Yeah.
I had seen a limited amount of streams. So, and I think it had to do everything with TikTok.
Mhm.
So now that's why I want to do more of the TikTok stuff. And I see other people doing the live. Of course, I'm not gonna do like 10 hours. Some people that are on live on the TikTok live for 10 hours, but
Right,
I'll do
right,
like
right.
an hour and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. No dancing or anything like that.
Yeah, no dancing.
Just singing.
Big shout out to everybody out over in Holland, Michigan that's got us tuned in. Paranormal Salazar says hello,
Georgia
Keith.
Norma, saludos.
That's right. So big shout out to her. She's always, tuning in wherever she can to support as well. Para George Salazar también, un saludo. So
George,
again.
amazing singer, and Norma,
Mhm.
absolutely awesome supporter, and they're just great people. Yeah, love them.
They're great people. Just definitely. I got to get George on the show. Matter of fact, I was thinking about him the other day. I was like, man, George, he's never been on my show. So I got to reach out to him and get him on there. He's got some
George,
outstanding music. Definitely. Yeah.
you
So
heard that, George?
yes, George, he'll. I'll get the message. I'm sure I'll get a message from these guys. So I definitely want to get them on. Carlos, again, man, I appreciate the time. You
Oh,
know,
thank you.
for you actually taking the time out of your Sunday. We got the game out of the way, of course. Early
Yes.
before this. So, again, you're always welcome back anytime, my brother. We're
Thank you, sir.
here
Appreciate
to
it.
support 110% till we can't support anymore. We're always going to be here. From La Familia Leal. That's just what we do. We're here for the industry. We have been for many, many years. From my father all the way down to myself, my brother, and whatnot. So we're going to continue to do what we love, and that's just here to support the industry.
And we love you guys, and we're here to do the same thing. We're trying to support and try and grow the industry, try and get it stronger, and make it available to all artists, and that way we can push our music and just keep thriving.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we can do is go forward,
Yeah,
definitely. So
sure.
again, just to be on the lookout for him, guys. Reach out to Carlos P. Garcia on all his social media platforms. Again, you can follow him there. Keep up with the latest and the greatest that he's got going on. He's got a great year coming up, a great year from music, all kinds of great things as to performances. Be on the lookout. Go to his social media page. He definitely would love to hear from you and find out where you are, from or where you're following from, and he'll keep you updated on all the performances and stuff like that he's got lined up. So you can follow him there. Definitely,
Sure.
always a great thing right there. Social media it goes a long way with all these fans and these listeners out there. So most definitely, Carlos. Again, God bless you, my brother. You have a great evening. Until next time.
Same to you, man. Greatly appreciate the space. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome.
Night.